Hello, everybody. This is Zhou Zheng Show and Beautiful Life. Today, I will invite a very special guest. She is Deborah Turnbull. She is very international. Hi.
Hi,
Deborah.
Joey.
Nice. Yeah, welcome to our Zhou Zheng Show and Beautiful Life. And first, I want you to talk to our audience to introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Deborah Turnbull, and I'm very honored and flattered to be invited on your show, Joey. You're so popular and well received all over Hollywood. Everybody loves you. And I'm honestly grateful to be a part of anything that you're doing. Thank you very much.
So, Deborah, I know you are very well known in the international circle and doing business. Even a few years ago, I heard that you family and yourself involved the famous movie they call Wolf of the Wall Street.
Well, actually, funny. I did go to see Wolf of Wall Street, and whilst I was watching it, I said, "Wait a minute! I think that's my boat." I think that. Wait a second. Hey, hold on a second. Because one of the crew I had actually talked to after we sold it, I called her the day that it sank off the coast of Italy, and she said, "Oh, they sank your boat! They sank your boat! Jordan Belfort sank the boat." And Jordan bought the boat from us, and yes, indeed, he sank the boat, and he was.
So people purchase your boat,
Right.
And it is a big boat, right?
It's
It's a big boat. It is a
big,
yacht,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. And how many people can you stay in that boat?
Well, the 9 crew that lived on the boat full time. So there was a full-time 5-star chef, a sous chef, a full-time engineer, a captain, first mate. We had the crew, the ladies that took care of everybody living on the boat. And then, of course, our guests would come. And we had Senator Kerry all the time. We called it the Senator's Cabin up on top. We had Coco's room, because the boat was originally built by Coco Chanel. So Coco's room was intact. Nobody ever changed her room, but we added, my ex-husband and I, 4 tons of marble on the boat. We built that whole marble bar and put suede walls and, added full sheets of marble in the bathrooms and gold sinks and all that kind of thing. So, right?
So the producer of the Wolf of Wall Street.
That's a different producer. Wolf of Wall Street was the movie that they made about Jordan Belfort's purchase of our former yacht when he took it and sank it. When we owned it, a movie was made on it called A Woman Named Jackie.
Somewhere off the coast of Italy, can you hear me? I'm with Ari on his yacht. He wants to give it to us.
Give it to us?
Lend it to us for our own private cruise. He knows you've been feeling blue after the baby.
What? Like Santa Claus?
He knows you need a vacation. He's even promised to stay on shore to protect our reputations. He really is a sweetheart.
I think we're a little old to worry about our reputations.
Let me ask you then, how is it that
And A Woman Named Jackie was about Jackie Onassis. And that Lester Persky produced it. And it was on ABC. It won the mini-series of the year that year. And it was, that was a very fun movie. They asked if they could film it on the yacht, and I said, you have to trade me for a speaking part. So I was in the film, and then they actually let me add my best friend who's from Taiwan, Sherry, and so she sat at the table with me in the film. And
So you and your best friend
Yes.
were in that movie.
Yes.
The cool woman.
A Woman Named Jackie. Yes.
Oh, I heard of this the movie. Yeah.
It is very
Sounds like you involve a lot of the entertainment of the business, but I know at the beginning you are not do the entertainment business. You do a lot of the dining business and like the trade, international trade business, and the international oil business. A little bit introduce that.
Well, we opened up, I was instrumental in opening up offices all over the world. And those were extremely exciting times when we went to the Red Square, for example, Moscow. I was the only Westerner with my former husband at the time invited to the Red Square the first time the patriarch and the president stood together in over 70 years. So there was a very big deal. We funded the Kazan Cathedral interior, so we were invited. We were very much honored there. We had a relationship with the highest levels of government there, and we were treated extremely well. And overfed, actually. So, but we had oil and gas. We drilled all over the world, and I was actually the dining bit was because that was my passion. So even though I had no reason to be the one cooking, I actually loved it. So I would get to London and get to my home and do the cooking, and then I'd have a butler and somebody serving it, and that kind of thing. So the dining was bridging the, my passion with actually my business, which was doing business all over the world and hosting.
Yeah, in China, people call type of the woman like you, they call the rich woman.
Doesn't need to cook.
But don't involve. But how people imagine you are very wealthy. Also, you like the dining. Why you like the cooking or the dining?
Well, to be honest with you, I started my passion for that came as a very young teenager.
Oh,
and
that's because.
I came from a humble beginning, and I imagined myself with these wonderful things that I ended up enjoying. And so my opinion was to learn how to be able to order and know what's going on with these 5-star places. I should learn how to first cook. And so I started cooking as a teenager. And that passion grew into the whole flair for hosting. And when I was in New York as a young 21-year-old, I was actually invited to be hosting with some oil ministers and prime ministers at Le Cirque, the 5-star restaurant there. And so organizing those type of tables and doing business at them was just something I started very young. And it turned and kept turning into 12 offices internationally all over the world and running those. And that's it's just a wonderful journey. It's been a great journey.
I know you travel a lot of the places. Have you been to China?
I have not been to China.
But I heard that you landed in Hong Kong, right?
I did land.
That's a part of the China.
Yes.
Should be in China. Okay. I know you like the Chinese food.
Oh, I love Chinese food. Well, my best friend's Chinese. You got to remember.
Oh, okay.
So her and I, we used to
have a lot of Chinese food.
Have a lot of Chinese food, and of
course. Could you give me the experience of how you compare the Chinese food to another food, like Italian food, or the favorite your food? Chinese food is your favorite food?
I don't know if I have a favorite. If I had to say this is food my favorite or that food is my favorite, I like food.
Okay.
I think my friends call me a foodie, so
food is the Chinese people call the food is they see the people depend on the food. That means 民以食为天. That means people depend on the food. They make the regard the food like the sky, like the paradise. I can only translate like that. Then the Chinese people think the food is everything.
I think it's one of the ways that we become community. We come together. It's warm. We all love that. It's food is every kind of. When you sit together and you dine together, you have some bonding happening just because you're what they call breaking bread together, right? Those old.
So, do you have any experience to taste the Chinese food, or?
Well, Joey, I just went with you a couple of days ago and had some of the best Chinese food I've ever had.
I like the story you told me in the Houston. You have the Chinese food
Houston
experience.
had one of my favorite restaurants. Chinese food restaurants, was in Houston. And when my best friend went with me, the food always tasted better. So actually, I noticed that, and I used to call her and tell her, I'm in Boston. Can you tell them what I like? And she would tell them in Chinese. And then I would get the food exactly how I love it. And there's so many dishes and so many things to explore in that.
Because of the
cuisine,
different
it's very
different type of
sophisticated, and a lot of people don't even understand that because they think that the stuff that they get at the fast food is the Chinese food, and sadly, that's really not. There's exquisite Chinese food, just like there's exquisite American food or exquisite French food, and then there's what you get when you have to hurry up and, get something quickly. And I think the real Chinese experience with the superb cuisine is something that everyone should experience.
Have you been, of course, you've been to the Italy and Roma. And do you like the Italian food?
Well, I was just recently toured around Italy with some pretty amazing people. I was fortunate enough and blessed to be introduced to some of the oldest families there. The Ferragamo family. Salvatore joined us at a place called Il Burro. And that's a medieval village that took them 25 years to restore. So it was just magical, and it was in Tuscany, and just a beautiful time of year to be there. And Salvatore Ferragamo joined us. He came immediately and said, "Where's the wine?" I love this guy. It's lunch. He said, "Bring the wine." That was great. But he joined us. We had a really wonderful time there, and we were lucky and fortunate enough to be hosted also by Tonino Lamborghini as well.
I went to the Italian 2000 to Rome. I just walk in the small restaurant. I first time have the original Italian fish. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful.
Italians really do know how to make you feel special. Right.
Besides the food, we'll talk about your how you make your friends. I heard of you have the Alpano Castle, right?
Yes, it's
where it is.
Right now we are on a wonderful project. It's at the base of Camelback Mountain, and it borders with the Palms 5-star hotel, and it's actually called El Palacio.
El Palazzo. It's a castle. That's your joint venture business project.
Business right now. It's mine. And we are hosting exclusive celebrity VIP individuals who want a little extra layer of privacy, if you will.
So how many, who are the important person, like the
Oprah's been
people?
there. President Oprah Winfrey has been to the
have they been their own
Palacio
okay.
A sitting president was invited there at the time when he was President Bush. And many celebrities, many dignitaries have graced this beautiful property with their
how many people they can cover this castle?
How many people can it host is one thing. Overnight guests, it's a very small, exclusive place. It's meant to have just, let's say you have a dozen guests, you want to have them at the 5-star Palms, and then you have the super exclusive VIPs at the Palacio. There's 4 grand suites that are extraordinary, and then there's a couple other extra rooms. But right now we're using those for treatment rooms.
Oh, wow. It's a lot to see that.
Yes. You will absolutely be my guest.
Thank you for inviting. Sure. I heard that you will involve the very famous forum. It's involved international. It is called World Women Economic Forum.
Yeah,
Women's
I heard Economic Forum.
You invited by the two speaker, right?
Absolutely, I will be speaking.
Could you introduce that? What's that?
Yes, a very wonderful lady named Didi Wong is actually the chair, and it's her event essentially. And I'm invited. I will be speaking on December 1st at the LA Live. Downtown LA, and this event is for women, and it's all about encouraging women to become entrepreneurs, and there's every level of assistance and every level of entrepreneurs who are women that will be there. There's going to be amazing women there. I will have my own booth, so I'll be speaking about what I have and what I'm working on. I have a couple projects that will be at the booth, one Palacio.
What's your purpose of life?
Well,
as a woman?
As a woman, I suppose empowering women, really, I think guiding women, and I suppose if there's something to be said about what can we do for women, I think it's just most women are still really struggling with just even standing up for themselves in a sense, or having the self-confidence to move into business. And then there's a lot of of course the younger generations of women they don't see any boundaries at all, and they just are doing things. And I do see how the global platform, as you have now pointed out, is really becoming more of a village.
What do you think the most important thing in the women's life?
That women definitely want to be successful so that they can be independent. And I think financial freedom is something everyone's seeking. And freedom in general is what people really want, is the freedom to be able to spend the time with those who are important to them, to be able to cherish and love the ones that they want to be with, right? And I think at the end of the day, having all the money in the world still points you to that same place. Who do I want to sit next to, and where do I want to spend my time? And most of us find that's family. So,
okay. As a successful woman, what kind of the things do you think to help the women to be the successful women?
If somebody finds marriage to be the number one thing on their list, I suppose that, but I don't think that's on the minds of most ladies that are looking for their career. I think the biggest struggle with women is that, if you do want to be a mother, you have this short period of time, and you're like, hurry, because you have to be a mother very young. And that's now changing a little bit with the way people are starting to move that margin, right? It used to be you had your children between 25 and 35. Now people are starting after that point, right? So women have a little longer runway to try to get somewhere with their personal lives, their careers, their financial freedom, their freedom of choice of, how they're going to live, where they're going to live, where they want to raise their children, who they want to spend their time with. Mm-hmm. There's that runway is much longer than it used to be, so you now have time to develop a career, mm-hmm. and you can still develop other areas of yourself. Mm-hmm. But I say develop as much about yourself as you can. That's the big thing. Don't just, I want to make money, or I only want kids, or I only want a family. Develop these things so that you're a more well-rounded person, and you have more to offer to that candidate, that special man.
Okay. And do you have kids?
I do have 2 children, yes.
Oh, 2 children that grew up. You were living together, or you just sometimes
they're off on their own.
Oh, okay. Do you have your mom, or do you have your brother, sister, your family?
Oh yes, I have 3 brothers, 1 sister, mm-hmm. my mom, and then I have a very big family.
Oh, big family.
It's like a clan.
Okay, so in your life, this is Zhou Zheng Show and a Beautiful Life. So before we let our guests go, we always ask them, what's your beautiful life?
Ah, wow. I suppose if you can live your life in love with all of what you're doing, and you come from the octave of love, and you're sharing your passion and what you love with others, that is a beautiful life.
Okay, love is a beautiful life. I like that. I agree with Deborah Turnbull and the comments about the beautiful life. And like the German Golf said long time ago, in the life, the important thing is have the great aim, and we have the determined to attain it. That's maybe a beautiful life. Thank you for watching Zhou Zheng Show and a Beautiful Life.